All right, good morning, everybody. Thank you again for coming today. We appreciate that Trooper Shuck has taken the time to come speak with us to share her story from the Skyway 10K event this past Sunday. Trooper Tony Shuck here for you to tell you about her story, okay?
First off, I just want to say thank you for all the outpour of gratitude, appreciation, the community, and actually the entire country. I've had people reach out to me, and it's been absolutely overwhelming, and so thank you. I've tried to respond to everybody that has reached out to me, but unfortunately it's overwhelming and I can't get to everybody. But so know if you sent an email or a text or a message, we're getting them and I'm reading them. The flowers that are being sent to the stations are they're very much appreciated. So I've been with the Highway Patrol for 26 years. I first started in 1995 and worked Pasco County for about 9 years. I then went into traffic homicide investigations, and I did that for about 10 years. And then about 7 years ago, I decided to go into commercial vehicle enforcement. It's a big deal because you're dealing with big trucks out there roadside. So after I got into commercial vehicle enforcement, I had the opportunity to join our hazardous materials team. And ultimately, what we do is we inspect motor vehicles on the roadways of the state of Florida that are traveling with hazardous materials. And then also, in addition to that, we do radiation detection. The truck that I was driving that day had radiation detectors in it. So if somebody was to go by me with any type of material that was radioactive, that truck picks it up and it tells me. It tells me if somebody's had like a stress test when they've been injected with the dyes, and it tells me different types of materials that come up. So the day of the event, we closed the road down about 3 o'clock in the morning. My post was the northbound at the southbound entrance ramp to the rest area. I'd been there all day, or all evening, I've been there all evening into the morning, and we got the notification via the radio at the first barricade post that a car had come through. At that point, I was originally facing northbound. At that point, I just turned my car around and started facing southbound. A few seconds later, Sergeant Carter from the Tampa district, he came past me, and I saw him, and I said, okay, he's in momentum, he's moving, I'm gonna follow him, but I'm gonna stay back, because I knew I was the last one. I knew there was nobody else behind me. Where I was positioned is probably about a half a mile from the starting point, and so in my mind, I'm thinking she's gonna stop. We have another checkpoint that she's gonna stop at. So as I stayed back behind Sergeant Carter, I saw her coming towards the toll plaza. And then that's when we got the radio transmission that she wasn't stopping for them. At that point, obviously in the video, y'all could see that I had positioned my car in the middle of the road. And I'm not trained to do that. It was just an instinct. I thought that if she got past Sergeant Carter, she would see that truck and she would stop. Sorry. She was in the outside lane, and I saw her veer to the left. So I thought if she saw me veer to the left again, she's going to stop. She then came to her left, which was my right, and in the video you can see it. You see I swerved slightly to the right, because again, in my mind, she's going to stop. And the next thing was the crash. It's hard because I've done this for 26 years and I've never been in this position. I've never been in this position where I've had to put myself for somebody else. And every day since it's happened, I've thought about it. You know, you go through the what ifs. But I was the last officer. I knew that. I knew it was me. So if it wasn't me to get her to stop, then who? I don't know. I don't know. Again, that post, I can see the buses come. I can see them getting offloaded. I can see, them lining up and getting ready and stretching. I hadn't seen a lot of people, so I didn't know if there were any more buses coming. But I knew we hadn't had the all clear, that the roadway had been cleared yet. So I knew there were people there. I didn't know where they were. I just knew that they were still on that bridge because we hadn't got the all clear. After I was put into the ambulance, and we were going over the Skyway to go to the hospital, I got to, I don't know what point of the bridge it was, but I did start to see people. I saw people still there, and it really overwhelmed me. It was just a situation where I knew there were people there, and I'm thankful it was me. I'm thankful that she didn't get past me. And of course, in our jobs, we're to protect and serve. And even on her behalf, she could have stopped. She could have just stopped. But she chose to do what she did. And she was injured. And I don't like that either, because, she should have just stopped. That's the moral of the story, I guess. But so again, I appreciate the outpour. Like I said, if I don't reach out to everybody, I am getting them. My dining room table looks like a florist bouquet store. I also want to put out that if there's any Chevy dealership that has an extra Tahoe, I'm kind of in a need of one. I also wanted to put too, I know a lot of people would like to donate for the Highway Patrol and our policies. We have ethical laws that we can't take anything monetarily. So if they do want to donate, or instead of sending flowers, they could donate to an organization that my husband and I donate monthly to, which is the Tunnel to Towers. And, they help wounded military, wounded first responders. And like I said, my husband and I both believe in that program, and we donate to it. So that's my story. I don't know what else you guys might want to hear, but I have some questions, and I'll take some questions.
How are you doing? How are you doing?
I'm all right. I'm getting there.
You said you think about this every day.
I do.
It's something that replays.
Every day. I do the what ifs. I do, like, if she had gotten past me, what would happen? Could I have continued to do the job? My intent is to come back fully to duty, but it's going to take a little bit of time for me right now. So, but yeah, I do every day. I think about it, and I have a lot of what ifs. And again, you have to realize, I contribute the survival of that crash to first my truck. It was a larger truck. The safety features that truck has. And then I also think I had a guardian angel with me. I don't know who it was, but I walked, I was able to walk to the ambulance to get, medical attention. And then, of course, as you come down, the pain starts to come. So, but yeah, it's an everyday thing.
A lot of people are calling you a hero for what you did. What goes through your mind when you hear that?
I've heard that, and even my son is constantly saying that to me when he sees me at home. I did my job. Like I said, I was sworn to protect, and that's what I felt I did. Hero, that's just a title. It's just, if that's what they want to say, then that's great. I just feel that, what I did, I had to do. I didn't want to do, but I had to do it.
When you say that you're replaying it, like when you go to bed and close your eyes, do you see this? Is it a recurring kind of video in your head?
That, and you wake up at night, in the middle of the night, for no reason, and it's it's traumatic for me because she put me in a position where I had to get her to stop, and I got hurt, she got hurt, and I don't like that, but I had to do what I had to do.
Before the crash happened, did you realize at all for yourself how dangerous this situation could have been, or?
No, I did not think it was going to end the way it did. I thought she was going to stop. Because if you look at front of those Tahoes, they're pretty intimidating. And in my mind, and this is the truth, in my mind is she was going to stop. So that's where I was. Yes, sir.
Have you heard from any of the runners that were maybe there?
Yes, I've heard from hundreds of people. Like I said, everybody's reached out to me. I've tried to reply to who I could. But yes, runners, we've had flowers sent to the stations from runners all across the community. And like I said, all across the state. I've heard from people out from Washington State, Indiana, New Hampshire, Texas, all over. So yes, they have reached out, and I have tried to, reach out back to them. But I can't get to everybody.
And to the woman who didn't stop in that car, is there anything you would want to say to her, or you would just want her to hear from you?
No.
How does it feel to know that you prevented what could have been a really devastating tragedy?
Like I said, it replays every day. I think about it all the time. Again, I don't know how I could feel or if I could continue on in law enforcement if she had gotten past me and somebody had gotten hurt.
You mentioned your son earlier, so obviously you're a mom.
Yes.
At that moment, I know as a law enforcement officer, you go to work, you think you're going to go protect runners on that specific day. Did your family flash before your eyes when you were making your decision to do that?
Honestly, no. It was in the moment. But the minute I was able to get out of that truck, that was the first thing that was in my mind, was my family.
Have you seen your Tahoe since, and just what was the emotions involved?
No, I have not. I'm actually going down there today to get some of my personal effects out of it. And, I've seen the pictures of the outside, and so I know that. I know I'm going to be a little upset when I see the inside.
Were you amazed how fast she was going?
I wasn't amazed. I'm just, I'm befounded, I guess, because I don't understand what was going on with her. The speed was odd for somebody who was under the influence. Typically, they drive a little bit slower. They weave. They might make a wide turn. So, but again, I'm not going to get into what she was doing.
Would you repeat this heroic act if you had to?
I mean, if I'm put in that position, I'm going to definitely take action. But I'm going to hope that the next one's going to stop.
You didn't radio anybody and tell them what you were doing. There was no time for that?
I had no time whatsoever. Like I said, the second radio transmission came through that she had gotten through that second barrier, and she was right there. She was right on top of Sergeant Carter, and then she was right in front of me.
How fast did this all feel as it was happening?
It goes like slow motion almost. It seemed like an eternity for me to get out of the truck, but it was just a few seconds before somebody was able to help get me out.
Did you think too about Sergeant Carter? It looked like he was in a Charger. You had the Chevy Tahoe, because we've had some incidents locally here where an officer kind of did the same thing.
Yeah, so that's another aspect of this whole situation. Had she gone up against a Charger, I think we would have a different storyline. And a lot of the circumstances that fell into this incident, I think, attributed to me being there because I had that big truck.
And you mentioned that you were in the middle lane. Like, did you have to drive forward? Can you kind of describe what your maneuvering was to intercept?
So there's two lanes northbound, and I wasn't in the middle lane. I was in the middle of the roadway, kind of straddling over the center lane. Again, I was thinking that as she was going to approach me, she was going to see the truck with the lights, and she was going to stop. But it was, for me, I believe when she hit me, I was only going a couple miles an hour because I saw her coming. And so it was just okay, let's slow down. Let's figure out what she's going to do. And then the impact.
And where your car was positioned, it was right where the start of the race would have been?
It was a little bit south, maybe, I don't know, 500 yards south of the actual entrance to where the runners were going. Anything else?
Yeah, can you talk to us a little bit about yourself? I know you said you're a mother. How many kids do you have? Where in the region do you live? I know you mentioned Pasco County earlier.
Yeah, I work Troop C, so it's actually the entire region. My job, I can go from county to county. I'm kind of, I have the ability to have a little bit more freedom because of the position that I'm in. I do have 2 sons. One's 24, he's in the Air Force, and I have a son currently in the Law Enforcement Academy. So I'm also married to a Pasco sergeant with the Pasco Sheriff's Office. And so our family is of service. I have other family members that are, retired Florida Highway Patrol. So it's in our blood. It's in our hearts.
How do you get up and I know you're not working right now, but what is it that motivates you to get up and do your job every day? Knowing that you might be putting yourself in harm's way. Why do you love what you do?
When I became a trooper, you think you're gonna save the world. You're gonna make all the wrong things right.
You did.
Yeah.
Thank you. But the way I look at it now is if I can impact one person on a traffic stop to slow down, then that might save another person. If I can, stop one person who's ran a red light, then it's going to impact that person and hopefully save somebody else. So it's just about the public and my involvement with them and just personal encounters, I guess, because not everybody gets stopped by the cops. But when they do, we have, the interaction, and I try to make it a positive one, of course. Anybody else? No? We're good?
Thank you for your bravery.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. My name's James Judge, and I'm usually working with you all in a much different capacity. I own a PR and marketing firm, and we work with the Armed Forces Families Foundation and the Skyway 10K. That morning, I had just finished up an interview with a local television station here, and it was on a whim that I was going to run this thing. I did not plan for it. I clearly didn't train for it. You can see I'm not much of a runner. And I said, I'm going to do this. And I wrapped up the interview around 8:25 or so. I was the last person to leave the start line, and this happened minutes later. I don't usually, I guess, I'm so used to telling this story because I did it for the Coast Guard. I was in the U.S. Coast Guard. I tell stories of people getting rescued or saved all the time, but it's never been me. And for the first time in my life, I just can't thank you enough for what you did, because it's just not only unbelievable, it's heroic in every aspect of the word. Yesterday was the anniversary of a friend of mine who passed away last year, doing the exact same thing on I-275, stopping a wrong-way drunk driver. And I never thought that it would be somebody stopping a person from hitting me in a crowd of runners. At that point, there was still probably, a couple thousand people on the bridge. We have a very limited window. We get the bridge at 3:30 a.m., and we put down road cones, porta potties, we build the start line, the finish line, we put out water stations, and we bus 8,000 people from Tropicana Field to the south rest area of the bridge. At that point, 6:20, the first wave starts, but we're still busing people down, and then they're running. A lot of them are walking. This is the selfie 10K. Everybody walks this event, which is set up to support military families. I mean, it's every dollar from registration goes to the Armed Forces Families Foundation, and it's all about supporting those who are heroic and serve the community and serve our nation. And a lot of those folks are also law enforcement members, or their family members are law enforcement members. And our gratitude is extreme, and I'm talking on behalf of the organization at this point, but personally too. I never thought that I would actually be, the only thing that was in between me and that person was you. And, we had a couple people that were doing teardown of the start line that she could have hit as well. And then after that is a crowd of runners. I was, 10, 15 minutes behind them because of the fact that I just done an interview. but thousands of people on the bridge, and it's just incredible. So thank you so much. Nikki Austin with the Armed Forces Families Foundation and Skyway 10K has brought a few things. I don't know if that's okay for us to give, but we would like to give them to you,
Thank you.
as a thank you. I don't know if you want to open that in front of us, but it's there's something special in there.
The least we could do, honestly.
This is her badge number, and we had a race bib made for her just to say thank you.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Thank
There's a
you.
few other things in the bag as well.
Thank
There's
you.
a medal in there too, right?
There is. Ooh, and I didn't even run it? I get a I medal? think you earned it.
Yeah, you definitely earned
All
it.
right.
So thank you so much.
Thank you.